KwaZulu-Natal Durban Police and private security have gunned down suspected robbers in Pinetown. It's believed the men robbed a client at a bank in the area before fleeing the scene. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan is standing by to tell us what more we know. Karinda.
Indeed, good day to you. Well, here in the M13 area of Westville, the road has been cordoned off as police, like you mentioned, have foiled a bank robbery. Let's chat to the KZN police spokesperson right now, Lieutenant Robert Chiwanda. So thanks for speaking to us. Of course, as we speak now, we know there are two bodies behind you of alleged robbers and a body nearby. Tell us what exactly happened to lead to this moment right now.
We received information of a robbery, armed robbery at a local complex. A person had just withdrawn money from the bank, undisclosed amount of money, and was allegedly robbed at gunpoint by the suspects who fled the scene in two getaway vehicles. Our officers responded swiftly, and in a matter of minutes, one of the vehicles was spotted, and a high-speed chase ensued. So when suspects realized that they were cornered, they shot at the police, and a shootout ensued. 3 suspects were shot and were fatally wounded. 2 were shot as they attempted to leave the vehicle. The driver managed to leave the vehicle, but still shooting at the police. Unfortunately, he could not outclass the police. He was also shot fatally.
Indeed, so at this point we know that right now this robbery essentially has been foiled. In the aftermath, what happens in the investigation in terms of returning those stolen goods to the client from that bank?
What happens is that anything that is found in the crime scene becomes exhibits that it has to follow the right processes. Like the firearms that we found in the scene, we are going to process them, see if we can't link them to other crimes in the province. We'll follow those procedures of what happens in the crime scene. That's why all the disciplines in the police are at the crime scene now, trying to process this scene thoroughly to ensure that we have enough evidence. And in profiling, we could get more cases that we can link the suspects to.
This is one of 2 shootings that happened today in Durban. There was one this morning by the King Shaka International Airport. Can you give us more information on what happened there?
On that one, the details are still sketchy at the moment. As we speak, officers are still on the ground, trying to combo the area as well, because we believe that there are some guys who ran into the bushes, and we are on them. So we'll be able to release a statement on that later. But we as the police, we are just pleased with the response time of our officers who managed to catch up with the robbers within minutes after committing the armed robbery.
Lieutenant, this, of course, the work by police today comes on the back of the crime stats that were released, which shows KZN to be an area with high crime rates for murder rate, but of course as well as hijackings and robbery like this one. What work was done by police in the aftermath of the stats being released to implement fast work like you have today?
The release of the stats and the picture, the stats painted on our province, talks to the issue of us in the province capacitating some areas of concern, Westville being one of them. And this response time is nothing new. There have been incidents in the past where we have responded. Unfortunately, the robbers try to shoot at the police, and we end up defending ourselves, defending our lives, and things like this do happen. So we have been doing this. The concern is that we believe that there are too many firearms, illegal firearms, roaming around the streets. We have high density operations that start every Thursday to intensify operations which have been going. So now these robbers they were caught in one of those operations that we are in the area, because we've identified certain areas and the times which these crimes happen and the days. So From Friday throughout the weekend, that's where major crimes happen, as the state indicated. So yes, we have looked at the state and we are deploying our members accordingly.
Certainly. Lieutenant, thank you so much for your time. I'd like to show our viewers part of the scene. So my colleague Lungelo Zungu will perhaps just come off here. We can't show you too much though, because they are still the bodies of the alleged robbers at the point where you're looking now, as well as at an embankment nearby. But these are the vehicles that were involved in this shooting. You can see both of them there, riddled with bullet holes as well, as police say that a shootout had occurred when police had traced the suspects to this area, the M13 bridge near Westville here in Durban, and that's when the shootout occurred. All three robbery suspects having been killed following this shootout. The area has been cordoned off, but Lungelo, perhaps we can also show our viewers this side of the scene as well. You'll see more private security as well that are here too. Like the police spokesperson says, the issue of illegal firearms is quite a concern right now for police. And it is believed, of course, as this evidence will be processed, that perhaps the suspects here today also had illegal firearms with them. And we know many of the crimes right now happening across KZN have been known to involve illegal firearms. So that's something that police, of course, have to really take into consideration. We know this particular incident comes off the back of the crime stats release showing KZN to have a high crime rate for murder, rape, and of course hijacking and robbery like this one. 3 suspects having robbed a client at a bank nearby as they were removing cash, and police chasing them down apparently within 5 minutes to come to this point where that shootout occurred. I'll give you another update as this unfolds, but we'll take a break for you now, and then afterwards Dudu has some more news.